Hey, what's going on, everyone? Before we get into our conversation, I want to let you know this podcast is sponsored by BetRivers.com. BetRivers.com, the best place for all your sports gambling needs. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You can also watch all of these episodes on the Field of 68 YouTube channel. Now, let's get into our conversation. What's going on, everyone? This is Eric Devendorf, your host of the SCORER'S TABLE podcast. It's been a minute. We haven't done a podcast in about 3 months, but we are back. We got a very good guest today, a former All-American, very smooth lefty, one of the smoothest players to come through SU. Each year he got better. His game got better every single year from his freshman to senior year. And he just recently is the TBT champion. So we want to welcome my guy, my boy, CJ Fair. Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
Man, it's all good. We're going to start right there, man. Talk about winning that TBT and just that whole TBT experience. Like, what was that feeling like, man?
Man, that was everything, man. Like, winning TBT, it felt like, that was the NBA Finals, March Madness winner. Like, so, everybody on the team, we had that confidence that we was going to win. But to actually go out there and prove it and get it done, man, that was a great feeling, and I can't recall the last time, I was part of like a championship team like that, so that was definitely something that's going to last forever.
So what do you think? Because you played in the TBT before, we made it to the Final Four that one year in Baltimore.
Yes.
What, like this year with this team, what was different about it, bro? Like what made it different to where, we were able to win it?
I think we was well balanced, we was well balanced at each position, and we all bought into winning, all egos aside, and we didn't care who was going to be the leading scorer every night, and each night we had somebody step up big, and like I think everybody played that role from the top to the bottom, and I think that's what got us over the hump.
So for like the viewers who obviously don't know what it's like playing in the TBT, just watching, man, how hard is it, bro, to win the TBT championship? Like the competition is a high level, and like you said, like you got to have everyone willing to play their role. It's like it's dogs on other teams who could get 30, they could get 35, but you don't need that you don't need that in the TBT. Like what is it that you need to win the game in like playing against the competition level?
Man, I think you got to have togetherness on the team. You got to have toughness, a lot of mental and physical toughness, because the games are up and down, and, it's going just like a lot of our games, man. It came down to the last minute, and like we just dug deep, and we just wanted it more than everybody. I think that's what the main thing. We just wanted it more. We wasn't the most flashy, and, I think that go a long way. A lot of guys go out there, on ESPN, you trying to press your fans, your family, friends and stuff. But we was all out there really getting it out the mud, and we was just, fighting to the end. That's a lot of things teams was not doing, fighting to the end. Because there was a lot of games where we could have easily lost, but we fought to the end.
Hell yeah! The last game, my man came off out of bounds, played wide open. My heart dropped to my stomach, dog, when he caught the ball, and he's the best shooter on the team. Yeah. So you thought automatically that joint was going in, but bro, like a lot of people don't know. Every game we out rebounded every single team. I think the overall rebounding margin we ended up out rebounded like by 40 rebounds or something like that. And then defensively, we was just locked in. We really, like, offensively didn't even play as good as we are capable of playing. Like all the guys that we had, like the offensive firepower we had, we just, we were just not making the shots that guys will usually make. But like you said, digging in, getting defensive stops. My man Tyrese, we won the game on a defensive stop. My man put his hand, plucked him, going for the layup. So, but it's different, man. You got to have a different type of, and you got to have different dudes, right? Like you got to have dogs out there, like dudes who really want to, who want to, like you said, put the ego to the side, get up, like Kiefer getting up in you. He guarded. Like DeAndre, like that's all he want to do. Like he letting you know, I'm just guarding the best dude. Like DJ Kennedy, he the leading scorer in the whole tournament. he played a different role this year. You know what I'm saying? But all for the money, off of the championship. And I don't know about you, but when that last shot went down, my man Kiefer hit that shot, bro. It's like, yo, like you said, that was the NBA championship for me.
Man, that was big, bro. Like that was like just a circumstance. You know, everybody want to be in that position to make and like take and make that shot, but not many people could do that. And like I was just as happy for him as if I would have shot it, you know?
No doubt.
And you know, and like that was a gutsy shot, bro. If he'd have missed that, people would have said, "Oh, it's a they could have came and lost." And then we kind of low-key had to go for a 3 because we went for a 2, we could have still lost. So that was $1 million shot, literally.
Literally, my man had to have some confidence to be. That was a hard shot. That's an NBA 3 pull up.
Fading, like drifting away.
Hey, bro, I don't know if you like I know you heard it like where they playing the Kanye song at the end of the joint, to Stretch My Hands.
Yeah.
When they playing it and then that joint just go in and the beat drop. Yo, bro, like that shot, it gives me goosebumps the whole time, bro.
Every time, bro. It's just, it's crazy.
Unbelievable. It's still soaking in for real. Let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with Bet Rivers yet, now's the time, because they're offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pay instant approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With football season kicking off, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. So let's talk about, we'll transition from TBT. We'll talk about you growing up playing. Born in Baltimore. You know, talk about growing up, you know, playing in high school. Obviously, you went out to prep school. So tell me a little bit about that. Who put the ball in your hand? You know, how you got started with the game?
Really, you know, I was just trying to find myself in sports. You know, my dad, he was a big time football player. And, you know, he was trying to see what I was good at. So I tried everything. Started with baseball. Then I played football. Then I played basketball. A lot of people don't know I played football all the way up to high school. And like football is my favorite sport growing up. And, but I was playing sports all year round, and you know, my father, he wanted me to take a break from one of the sports, like either basketball or football. And like I decided to take a break from football just to get 1 year off. And when I took that year off, I just started taking off in basketball, and like I really found my passion in it. And so like, yeah, growing up, we had a lot of tough teams. You know, you get that toughness from being around the city. You know, we're a small city, so anytime we go out of town, we just literally have to bring it. You know, we don't come from, you know, some AU teams, they stacking up, like we got players from Philly, we got players from North Carolina, but really it was everybody from my neighborhood. We was just really traveling and then like made a name for ourselves.
So when it was like the first time you was like, all right, man, I gotta take this hoop stuff serious. Was it that break that you took from football?
Yeah, it was literally like that break going in ninth grade. You know, I wanted to take it serious. I knew this was the time where people get recognized, get scholarship for college, and you know, and luckily, my teammates, I had talented teammates. Like I grew up playing with Will Barron, him and his brother Josh Selby. Roscoe Smith. So we had talented guys on our team, and like so that competitive nature was already there. Like, you know, if Will or Josh, you know, get a lot of pub, and then people come to see them, and then if I show out now, I'm starting to get a buzz for myself. I'm getting a name for myself, and then once we leave AAU, we go to our own high schools. You know, that kind of carried on, and you know, when I went to high school, I just, you know, I started really taking it serious. I started getting a growth spurt. Like I think I probably started ninth grade like 6'3", and then like by the sophomore year started, I was a legit like 6'6", 6'7", you know, and I was like coming into my own, and I think like my sophomore year was like my best year of high school, and like I kind of took off from there, and I made a name for myself in the city. I was like first team all Metro. You know, I was playing against, I don't know, the guy Sean Mosley. He was like #1 rated player in Maryland. He was already committed to go to Maryland. He was a senior, and I remember we faced up, and he went to a school called St. Francis. They in the Catholic League, and you know, I went to a city public school. I went to Baltimore City High. You know,
Yeah.
and so we played them, and it was in the tournament, and we beat them, and like, and I had a good game, and like from there on, like it was like I like took the crown and stuff, you know. And even though Sean, he probably still got the records for all the stats and stuff, but that game was a big momentum shift for my, you know, my high school career, and so from then on, it was like all eyes on me.
So from that point on, was that kind of like when the letters started coming in, when the recruitment really started to pick up like that?
Yeah. So ended my sophomore year. So the recruitment started picking up. You know, I'm starting to take visits, or not. I was starting to take unofficial visits, and then that's when things start crashing down. Like I'm still playing pickup around my neighborhood and stuff. And I remember it was the last day of school, and I played pickup. Then I ended up getting hurt, and that's when like I tore my ACL just playing pickup. And like from getting highly recruited, I'm getting colleges coming left and right, all male and stuff. All that stuff just really came to a stop. And then I remember going to start my junior year, and like it was probably like first month of school, and like I remember one of my buddies at school was saying like Syracuse, like Syracuse was here. One of the coaches was here to see me, so I'm like, she's for real. Like when I was like before I got hurt, I don't remember Syracuse being in the mix. It was more, you know, other schools. But then after I was hurt, I go down to the cafeteria, and Coach Murphy was there. Coach Murphy. Yeah, so he came up, he pulled up on me. That was my first time interacting with him, convo, everything. And he was just letting me know like his interest is still with me. You know, they really like me, and you know, they wanted me to come up to the school. And then from there, I took a visit from the school, and then it was just a wrap after that.
So I think like Murph coming in at a time where it felt like schools were backing off on you. Did that kind of help you more with Cuse? Be like, all right, well, shit, they believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, you know, me going through the injury, they know my talent and they know what I could do. They stuck with me. So that kind of helped you in your decision to choose.
Yeah, definitely. You know, a lot of schools were scared, and like I was scared myself. You know, I didn't know nothing about any ACL injuries. I'm thinking my career over. Like, so that was a down point, in my, you know, personally. So for him to come at that right moment and to like, it really lift my spirits up, you know, because I ain't know where my future was heading after that. And but he gave me the confidence to, you know, keep working, keep rehabbing, like don't rush it. And like, so that was big for me. And, you know, and I figured, and it seemed like Syracuse would be the perfect spot for me. So it was just perfect timing, man. It was meant to be.
So kind of like him coming there kind of almost motivated you to go even harder into your rehab, into your, you know what I mean, to get back better. Because now you rehab, and then eventually after that you go to prep school, you go to Brewster, right?
Yeah. You know, so I knew in my mind, like, all right, I got this school that believe in me, and you know, I got dreams of, you know, playing basketball at a higher level, so I gotta get back right. So it was so hard watching my, you know, my school play without me my junior year. Like, even though like I felt good, I felt like I can play, but I still wasn't cleared by the doctors to play, and like that was hurting me. I just like I couldn't sit out, but like luckily I did sit out the whole year, and I was able to rehab to my fullest extent. And then, so then it was like leading into spring and stuff. I had to, I started playing, but I had to wear like a brace on my knee, and like, it just wasn't comfortable. It was just like, I came back, like, I couldn't really run, cut, jump how I used to be. So that was kind of disappointing. So I'm like, sheesh, like, if this how it's going to be, like, I don't know, if I can make it to that level. But my I had, good people in my corner that kept, encouraging me, like my parents, my father. He was every therapy session, he was there, making sure I was rehabbing right. And then I would say it was going into the summertime lead up to my senior year. And like, I just, said, forget it. And like, I took the brace off, and like, and I never looked back. And then, so I started seeing my, my strength in my leg come back. I started seeing some explosiveness come back. And like, that's when the confidence started coming back right before I hit it to Brewster. And I started seeing, a whole different person, a whole different body. Like at Brewster, like we was working out like a college team, and they helped me get right. And like, I was, better than before I got hurt. So that was just a big momentum leading up to going to college.
And I think it's that story, just even that little bit right there that you was talking about is super important for kids, who tune in and listen to this, because, injuries happen, right? And stuff happens that you can't control, but it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of your career. Like you said, you did it your sophomore year going into your junior year. And then you had moments where, like you said, you didn't know if you was going to get back to where you were. And that's regular. Like everybody gonna have that, right? But you kept going, you kept persevering, you were consistent. And then the big thing, like you said, you had that support in your corner. You had Pops. Shout out to Pops. He a real one for real. You had moms, and then and obviously your family and friends. So for all those kids out there playing sports, going through something like this, not the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like you said, it's gonna make you stronger physically, but more importantly, like up here, like now you got it, like, all right, I can get through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a big injury, but I could still, if I can get through this, then I can get through anything, right?
Yeah, man. Like, I think like mentally, that's the big part of overcoming the injury, because a doctor can clear you, say you healthy, your muscles are strong enough. But once you get out there, you start playing, you start moving timid, you trying to not get hurt, because you ain't trying to go through that again. And that can sometimes stunt your growth. So for me, I gradually got my confidence back. And then I just trusted myself. And that's another thing. People, kids got to trust themselves, trust your gut, trust your support, and just go from there. Because, if you don't try, and you don't never know what's gonna come from it.
That's 100%. So you're at Brewster, and then you go to Cuse. Like, how did that? So you talked about Brewster. Being at Brewster is like college. So how was that transition from Brewster to Cuse? That obviously that helped you being there, and then coming more and transition smoothly into Cuse.
Yeah, that definitely helped me. But I would say a harder transition was to go to Brewster, because like that was tough for me. That was my first time being away from home, and I ain't gonna lie. Like, I remember the night before going to Brewster, I cried in my mom's lap. Like, that was my first time probably really crying in front of my mom. Like we all came to the decision as a family, I'm gonna go there, and like then the day before it's time to go, I did not want to go, man. I'm like, it was scary. And so I'm going to a prep school with kids that come from a different background than me, like something I'm not familiar with. I had no friends. Well, luckily I was going to school there with Will Barr. He was already committed to go, and like, so going there with him, that kind of helped things. But yeah, I'm used to, like I'm not used to that type of background, that type of really money and stuff. Like, them kids come from real, I would say
privilege, like
privilege, man.
Yeah,
like
sure.
real privilege. Like, and so I get there. It's a nice campus. You know, it's better than some colleges. Like the school's on a lake. You know, you got each sport got their own field, like from field hockey, soccer, girls and boys, and like it's all turf, man. Everybody live on campus, even the teachers. Like it was crazy, and but it was still a tough transition. And then, but once I got the hang of it, once I overcame like being homesick, then I could really lock in to be the best player I could be and best student I could be. Because like I had like a college schedule for like academics. Like I probably had 3-4 classes tops in the day, and then we go to the gym. Like and that's kind of how college is. Like you go to your classes from the morning to the afternoon, then you practice, right after that. And like, so just to get in that little mold, I think that helped me a lot, once I got to Syracuse.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like when I went to Oak Hill, first time being away from the crib, 17 years old, but how they run it, same thing at Brewster. You wake up, you go to class, you go to the gym. You stay in the gym, you do your homework, you wake up, you go to class, you go in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, so we're doing that every single day. And then now our travel schedule is we going to LA, you know what I'm saying? We going to Texas, we going to so it was already, it helped me going to Syracuse, like, all right, like I'm used to doing this. So, I mean, we see a lot of kids nowadays just doing it to do it, whatever, because they just think that's what everyone's doing. But it's a big advantage, like, kids get if they do it the right way going to one of those schools, because it is just like a college. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. That's how they treat it.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I went to Brewster. Brewster didn't really have a name at that point, and so we came in there and we ran the whole prep league. We was the first Brewster team to win the national championship. We won the states. We run everything, and then then you look back, like you see all the players he got after us, like, and it's like crazy how we, we started that Brewster wave. Brewster's look at one of the top prep schools in the country now. Like, right. I just seen like Dwayne Wade's son was just there. Chris McCullum went there after me.
Well, Buddy went there. Buddy.
Yeah. Buddy went there. Donovan Mitchell, like crazy. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of people went there after us, and like we didn't know like the type of impact we was having, but like we was having fun, and we had a stacked team. Like our starting 5, I think it was like our first 6 players. We all went high D1, and we kind of like started that trend. So that was kind of fun, and also it was a lot of competition because. We had players that was everybody's skill was top tier, and usually in high school you got the 1 or 2 guys, they just carry the team. You look at Zion Wilson, his highlights, it's just him. He do whatever he want. But we had a real team, where we had to play together, learn how to play with good players. So a lot of kids don't know how to do that. They used to being a guy every level, and then when we get to college, they get a rude awakening.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's another advantage. You going in there, you already playing against the best. So now you go into college, it ain't so hard. So you get to Cuse, you get on campus, you went to summer school. What was kind of like you get to Cuse and your first moment was like where you was kind of like welcome, like on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, damn, this is what it's gonna be like. What was there like a moment for you where it was like a welcoming moment?
I remember, I guess, like, before the season start, you working out and stuff, but then you start, I think you probably was there. You was there a lot my freshman year when you was doing the summer times and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we used to have like the runs at night. And I just remember, being out there, and I just remember one game, I was just on scoop team, and like, I just loved playing with him, and like he just made the game so much easier for me because you know, he gave me the ball in the right spots. Like I showed him from day one how I'm gonna compete, and like he just knew like, oh, he could depend on me. And like I think like from the open runs, he made me confident that, you know, I could play on this level. Like, you know how he talk. He gonna boost you if you on his team. If you're not, he gonna talk trash and stuff like that. And like that was like a good introduction. Like he was like a good vet to me.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Scoop. Yeah, hey, like point guard, he got it. Like communication, and like you said, he gonna boast you up to make you feel like you belong. That's what he's supposed to do, and that's big for a freshman coming in.
Yeah, especially, you know, because he could have easily, you know, gave me the side eye, like, all right, you know, I'm just worried about Chris Joe and James and like people that's already there, you know. But he opened his arms to me, like especially him and Dion already had a relationship prior, but like, you know, me and Dion used to always hang out a lot. So me just being around Scoop a lot, he definitely, you know, showed me the way how to be a college athlete and showed me the way, really.
So like I talked about in the beginning, like each year you got better. Like so your freshman year, I don't know the exact, but I know it might have been like maybe 6, 7, and then the next year would have been like 9, 10, and then it went to like 14, and then it went to like 16. So each year you got better. Obviously that confidence started getting more and more. Like every year, what really helps you continue to get better, but then like continue to build that confidence? Was it like, you know, off the court workouts, or what really helped you out from year to year?
Yeah, a lot of off the court workouts. You know, the walk on Nick, he used to always he used to work me out to the death, man. And like he seen something in me, and he knew like the type of work ethic I had, and like so we used to work out a lot before and after practice. But like each year, like really, I just knew my role, and I was able to flourish in my role. I knew like my first 2 years, I was coming off the bench, like I was like 6 and 7 man, and like I knew I just had to go out there, bring energy, and I had to play defense, run the court hard, get fast break, make the open shot. And I just took pride in that. And I ain't trying to do no more, no less. And then by the time I got to my junior year, that was my time to, be a full-time starter and, be the number one option. And, I've been working for that moment. And once I got the chance, I was able to, take advantage of it, even though we always had a good team. And we had always had good players, good people. And it was never like big egos. Like we always played as a team. It was never no selfishness. And I think my junior year, when I was able to show that I can be a number one option, and that was the Final Four year,
Yeah.
So that was kind of big for me. So then, come back my senior year, it was like, senior year is just like all or nothing. Like this is the last year, so you definitely gotta, ball out. And we had a great year as well. So I was definitely, happy how my career went at Syracuse. Even though I wish we'd have probably, had a better tournament run my senior year. But other than that, I had fun. I think I left a lot of memories up, for the fans.
Absolutely did. And the thing is, bro, like you were a type of player, like you were good enough to where like you could have played, right? You could have played like over some guys, but you were patient. Like nowadays we see like the first time something happened, dudes is transferring. You know what I'm saying? Like you stayed 4 years, like you like that's unheard of nowadays as well. Especially like you could have left early, like you said, you after that 2013 year, you probably could have bounced. You know what I'm saying? So what was it for you to we're like, all right, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna finish my 4 years out, I'm gonna get to this degree and do my 4. What was it that you had that patience to stay? You didn't transfer, you rode it all the way out.
Yeah. I think really, yeah, I was thinking about, entering the draft after my junior year. We had a great year. And our team was hot. So, but I think like time to make decision for the NBA draft, when you make the tournament that far, you gotta, declare probably within a week, because they had at that time they had deadlines. Now you can, test the waters, come back and, jump back and forth. And but I think that year you had to make a decision at a short period of time. And like I was kind of on the fence. I wasn't sure. And like going to the draft wasn't always in my mind the whole year. So it wasn't like an easy choice, like, oh yeah, go to the draft. Like if that was in my, my mind from the beginning of the year, I probably would have left. But it was never really in my mind like that. So I was like, I'll come back for my senior year, and really, have an even better year. So, and also, get my degree, be the first in my family to, go to college, graduate. And, that's big. And, in my family, in my city and stuff like that, you don't see that too often. So, I'm just trying to make a great example for, my people around me and people under me. And so I came back for my senior year. I was all in. I was, it was a exciting moment. So then, leading, but we was gonna have a new kind of like a new team because Brandon was leaving, James leaving, MC Dub was leaving. So we had 3 starters that was leaving. So that was going to be another tough task for me because you didn't know how the team was going to look. Yeah, we had Tyler Ennis coming in, but he was highly recruited, but you never know how a freshman's going to show up. And but he definitely showed up in a big way, and he helped put together a team for us to be a good team.
So let's talk about that 2003, that Final Four run.
Yeah.
What was so special about that team, that whole season? Was it like there a particular part in the season, particular game where you were like, all right, we could probably make something happen?
Yeah. I think a lot of people know like we was losing a lot towards like the middle of the season, end of the season. Like I think the last game, I don't know if it was the last game of the season, but towards the end, like we lost to Georgetown. At Georgetown, we got blown out. They rushed the court on us, and like that was supposed to be the last time Syracuse and Georgetown playing the Big East, and like so that was kind of devastating. And then we get to the Big East tournament. I don't know what seed we had, but we was probably middle of the pack, and but we just started rolling, and I think that was the spark we needed going to the tournament because we end up going to the Big East Championship. But first we played Georgetown in the semifinals, and and we was able to beat them in overtime and like got our revenge, and like that was, we really left a mark where we left the Big East beating Georgetown, so that was big.
That's where you dunked on Otto Porter down the middle.
Yeah. So that was again, that was that game, and like that's everybody's favorite dunk of mine and stuff, and
no doubt
it was on the documentary and everything. So I was like, that was cool. So yeah, so we got
that was tough right there. That was body to body.
Yeah. So so we got get back, on them. So that was big. And then we played Louisville, and it's crazy, man. Louisville, we ended up losing, but it's crazy. We was up like damn near 20 points against Louisville in the first half, and like we just kind of ran out of gas, and they just start pressing us, and they end up coming back and beating us. And like so then, but that momentum carried over to the tournament though, and we was able to make the Final Four. And it's crazy, but like if we'd have beat Michigan, I know we'd have won a championship. I know we'd have beat Louisville, just because like that year I think we was like split with Louisville. We played them like three, 4 times. I think that it was like even like 2-2, and I think we'd have beat Louisville. I think we was the team that knew how to beat them. And but yeah, we fell short against Michigan, and like even that game, I showed out on a big stage. Like I had a good game that game, and even though we came up short, I was still definitely proud to see how I performed on an even bigger stage.
They had some dogs too: Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., Karis LeVert. They had some dogs on that Michigan team.
Yeah. They had Karis before they had Nick Strauskis.
It's the
Mitch McGarry. Then they had Glenn Robinson the third. Yeah, they was tough.
Dang, they had a squad then.
They had a squad, and that was a good game though. That was a good game. I'm gonna give it to him. Trey Burke.
That was in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was in Atlanta. That was good. I think Trey Burke had a real good tournament. So it was definitely a great moment, great feeling to make it that far.
What would you say your favorite moment or your favorite game that you played in the Syracuse uniform?
I'll probably say I think my senior year when we played Duke. When we played that was our first time.
Block or charge? that game?
No, not that game. It was the
okay.
It was the time.
We gonna get to that.
Yeah. We get there. It was the time before that. This is we played them at the Dome. This is that first time coming to the Dome. This is our first meeting. My senior year was the first year we went to the ACC. So this is our first meeting. So they come to the Dome and they got Jabari Parker, Rodney Hood, Quinn Cook. They got Tyler Thornton and they had a couple Rasheed Suleiman. They had a tough little squad. Emil Jefferson. It was that game lived up to the hype, man. And like it was going back and forth. And like I just remember always making like a big shot, big play that game. And we ended up beating them. In overtime. We beat them in overtime. That felt good. And we just let the ACC know, like, Syracuse is here and like we about to really run the ACC. So and then Mike Krzyzewski, he gave me good praise after the game, and that was a good feeling right there.
So we'll go back to the one at Duke, man. The famous charge call that was really a block. Coach sold that jacket and all that for like 20 racks and all that, man. What? Yeah. So what was it? Was it a block or a charge?
It was definitely a block.
No doubt it was a block.
It was no doubt a block, especially that late in the game.
So run me through the joint. Run me through the last little possession.
If I remember correctly, I think Tyler passed me the ball. I was on the left wing, and they had somebody guard me. Some guard. I ripped left, going baseline, and So we was down. We was down 2, I think, with like less than a minute to go. We was down 2. So I get the ball and I rip left going to the basket, and it seemed like I had like a clear lane, and then Rodney Hood just stepped in front of me and like took the charge. Like I made the layup too. And like my momentum kept me going forward where I didn't even know they called a charge until I seen like out the right of my eye, like coach going off and all this stuff. It was crazy. Like I never seen coach act like that before in my life. And he going off, he going crazy. And I seen the coaches trying to stop him, but he was pissed. And you could tell he really wanted that win, just like us. And they gave him 2 techs and injected him. And it's crazy. Like after the game, after we lost. Emotion still high because we thought, we got cheated. And I remember a reporter, I don't remember which reporter it was, but like I felt like I got set up. I felt like they misconstrued my words.
Yeah.
So they was asking me if Boeheim doesn't get those 2 techs, do I think we have a chance to win, or do we win, or something like that? And I was just mad. I was in the moment. And I said, like, I'm like, yeah, if he don't get those 2 techs, that's 4 free throws right there. So you do the math. Like, so then I just see later that day, I'm on like the ESPN ticker or something, like basically saying I'm throwing coach on the bus. Like if coach don't get them techs, we win the game. Like, and like just really flip my words. Like I didn't mean it like that. I was just
right.
It caught me at a bad time, and I remember we had to fly straight to Maryland from that game, and like I remember just avoiding coach. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to look him in his eyes or nothing, because I was like, damn, he read everything. And I'm like, I hope he. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know how he feeling. So I was just avoiding him, And then I remember we was about to practice, and he came up to me, and he kind of like broke the ice, and he was saying, I didn't mean it like that and things like that. And so that was a good feeling, because he know my heart. He know I wouldn't say nothing bad about him like that and stuff. But yeah, man, they got one from us, man, because they definitely cheated. That was definitely a block. And man, it's crazy. Like the fans, they don't let that down to this day. I still get mentions about that every day.
Oh yeah, it's memes and all type of stuff. You already know.
Yeah, that was my first million view video. I remember it was on YouTube. It was on YouTube because Coach was going crazy. Like it's crazy. It's funny. Like I remember, talking to my, being in group chats with my friends around the city and stuff like that, and like them using a meme in like different situations and text and stuff. So it's funny to see like that meme, that GIF still be going around.
I mean, that was a big time game too, bro. Krzyzewski, Boeheim, like, it was the first year in the ACC, so they already had something going on. So hell yeah, that's gonna make his rounds. That meme is in Syracuse royalty. You feel
It's
me?
legendary. It's crazy. I was just talking to Neil Gold. He bought that jersey and
yeah.
I was just talking to Neil probably like a week or so ago, and he sent me pictures of it. I told him to come to his house. I'm gonna put the jacket on.
He in the Q's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. When you get down here, you already know.
Yeah.
So what you see? I know how Coach is, but I don't think Coach, and I might be wrong, but I don't think Coach was really yelling at you like that, because you ain't that type of dude. Like, you ain't got to yell at you.
Oh yeah. Nah, Coach. Honestly, yeah. I think I made it. I made it through my 4 years without being on Coach's bad side.
I could tell though. I already know what type of dudes like he get on. Like, and if you gonna do what you do, like, you consistent. He not really messing with you like that.
Like, yeah, he knew what he was gonna get from me, and then like he knew he didn't need to yell at me to put a fire under me to like get me going.
Right.
I'm always bringing the energy and stuff like that. And but yeah, I had some teammates I used to feel bad, man. Like I don't remember what year it was, but when Rock came to school, man, he should let Rock have it. And I used to like, damn, like it wasn't even his fault, Coach. Like it didn't matter. Like it didn't matter who fault it was. Rock, is on you. Like, so he always got his one or two players that he's just gonna let have it. And I think that's kind of him building players up. Some people can handle, some people can't. But yeah, I think like he never was like on me too heavy. Of course, like every player, you make mistakes and stuff. He gonna let you have it. I remember, I think it was, I don't know, sophomore. It might have been sophomore year, I think. Like, I remember I missed a shot. I missed a jumper or something. He told me, don't ever shoot a jumper ever again. Yeah. He said, you should never jump, but you'll never play again. And like, I remember him telling, I'm like, damn, how I'm supposed to go out there and hoop? Like, and but I remember, I think it was Coach Ray, he was saying like, you still gotta go out there and be aggressive, and like, you live with the results, and I still went out there, play my game, be aggressive. Of course, like I missed some shots, but I made sure I make that next shot though. You had to make the next one, and then so I always kept confidence in Coach. Like he always knew he could depend on me, and I never did too much on court. I never did things I couldn't do. I wasn't out there trying things. Like I was always, consistent, and you could count on me.
I knew one thing about Coach is he was gonna yell at you. He was gonna see how you was gonna react to it. Either you was gonna shell up, or you was gonna take it like, all right, I'll show this motherfucker real quick. You know what I mean? Like that's how I took it. Like I took it like, man, all right, I'm about to go out here and bust the ass. Another dude might take it like, he might go like personally, now he's shelling up type shit. But like that's Coach ain't finna switch it up for you. Like either that's how he is. Yeah. Now you gotta adapt. Like that's how you gotta handle it. Like he a Hall of Famer. He ain't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
another player, man. He been through it, man. But yeah, that's how it was. Like even growing up, like I was used to coaches leaning on me and stuff like that. So I was taught to not take it to heart, and And, you know, sometimes players need that when they need somebody to like yell at them to, you know, get them going, even from a coach or a player and stuff like that. And but yeah, if you're not mentally tough and you thinking he literally don't like you, then it's gonna be a hard time for you.
That's a fact. What's your favorite Coach Boeheim story / moment, like locker room, like where he going at somebody and you like, damn, he said some shit like that? Like, I know you got one because everybody got one.
I'm trying to think.
Like, damn, he said that shit. Like he talking to you like that? Damn, right?
Yeah, he said be on right ass, man. Damn. I don't remember exactly what he used to say though, but see.
The moment, like it ain't like this a moment where you be like, where it was funny as shit. Where you like, damn, coach is wilding right now.
I remember. I be getting these years confused now. Getting up there, it was either like it's probably sophomore year. Could have been junior year. Probably sophomore year. Sophomore, junior year. You know, Brandon. He was just wild, man. He was one of those walk-ons where if we blowing the team out, he don't play. He mad, like he throwing fits. Like I remember him really being mad and stuff. And but yeah, he used to he used to go real hard in practice. I remember one time it was like a loose ball. And we probably playing Final Five or half court or something like that. It's a loose ball and it's heading towards Boeheim way. And like Reese is hawking it down. And like he end up just like running over Coach and like and Coach end up breaking his finger or his hand or something. Oh. And like I remember him just getting up, just cussing like and cussing at Reese. Like that shit was hilarious, man. And like and to this day, I don't know if Reese did that on purpose or not. Like you never know with Reese. And like, but like it like when Coach got up, Coach was so mad. Like he got up hot and like that shit was funny. And like I think another time, like he used to whenever we had huddles, like start or in practice, like James a little he a little off sometimes. and James he used to always like he can't sit still, so he walking around Coach while he talking and stuff, and like Coach he's just real uncomfortable, and like he just cursed James out and like basically saying like James, like we had an order where James could never stand behind Coach while he talking because like Coach hated that shit. And like literally hated it. And like him and Coach, like James used to be so like you had to just deal with James. Like James was like, I remember he scheduled one of his classes to be like, I think 4:00 used to be our practice time, and like James like purposely scheduled one of his classes to be at 4. So now we got to move time practice around James' schedule. Like Coach hated that. Like he like things his way. But like
practice at 4:00 every day, every year. Same practice every day, every year. You might tweak a little something, but it's the same thing.
Same day. But James, it's his senior year, so he got to have this class, and it's at 4. It's at same time practice start, and like and Coach was livid, like he hated that stuff. But yeah, I can't really think of any particular moment, but Coach like. I just remember Coach, like I remember Coach going off on everybody had it. But I'm trying to think of a funny story. I don't know. It probably come to me.
Yeah, if it come to you, it's all good. What would you say your overall Syracuse experience on the court, off the court? Because we know how it is off the court. We know Syracuse as a community, how they just support and love shit. They love motherfuckers.
Man, yeah, man. It was the love I got from Syracuse is everything. Even to this day, like it's really appreciated because, like you kind of take it for granted a little bit, playing in front of 30,000 every night and stuff like that. And people wearing your jerseys and you going to the mall, like you can't really walk around normal and stuff because everyone take a picture, get an autograph, stuff like that. And you know, that's, you know, not too many people experience that type of, you know, celebrity level like that, you know. And that's just off the court. And like, you know, on the court, you playing on the biggest stage, you playing on national TV every night. And, you know, my biggest thing was I just had to, you know, make sure I perform, because, you know I got people back home watching, and, you know, you just want to put on for your city where you're from and stuff like that. So just to go out there, have that platform, and, you know, really show the world what I had, you know, and Syracuse provided that for me.
Yeah, you definitely did that, bro. So so we going from playing in front of like 35,000 people. Now you go in transition playing pro ball. You know what I'm saying? You could be playing overseas where you might be playing in motherfucking front of fucking 25 motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And it's cold as shit. So how was that for you, bro? Like coming from a big time, like you just said, you go in the mall, motherfuckers taking pictures, doing all that. Now you going overseas, motherfucker can't even, they don't even know if you say hello type shit. You know what I'm saying? So what was that like for you, bro?
That was tough, man. So I remember, you know, I played in the D League back, which is a G League. So I played in the G League coming out, and man, this before like the G League had as much pub as they do now. Like this was like people didn't know where you was at. You just playing the D League. Like we didn't get no coverage, and so I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's where I was playing at, and I remember coming out to a home game, coming out for layup line. And bro, I remember I could just point out everybody there. Like, it was just like, I'm like, damn, like, this way it come to? Like, just imagine going from Rock of the Dome, 30,000, then you come into a arena where it's just like, literally like 20 people. Is everybody plus one there. Like, everybody parent, girl or something there. And it's not like really fans, it's just people, you know, support system there.
Yeah.
And like it's literally like an open practice, really. And like, so I'm like, damn, like, so you couldn't feed off the crowd to get going, get hyped and stuff like that. It was just, I was tough, man. Like from that was tough. And then when I did go to France though, we did have, I ain't gonna lie, that was like the second time me being around a good crowd. We used to have good attendance though. We used to pack it out. So that was cool. But yeah, other than France, man, shit, man. it was tough, man. You had to really dig deep to like, if you could perform out here in front of like no fans and stuff like that, like, you know, like mentally you tough, and like, you know, you can see who really like the hoop and who got it, who don't got it. Like it's going to really expose you in a good or bad way.
You better be wanting to kill that dude in front of you. Like you really like, I'm playing for that check.
Exactly.
Like at that point, like you ain't got no friends. You after the game, you go back home. It's just you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know your situation, your fam over there, but man, that could be tough mentally. You might have 30 points. You win the game. You can't even share it with nobody.
Bro, you can't even celebrate, man. It ain't no pub. It ain't nobody reposting your highlights. Nobody posting your stats and stuff like that. Yeah, like, man, you had to really like. That's when you start really bonding with your teammates, you know, because like even though like in the G League, people might think it ain't as cutthroat as people think it is, just because like everybody trying to make it to the next level.
Right.
But like, as crazy as it sounds, like everybody trying to get themselves up to the next level, but in the midst of you grinding like that, you become closer with your teammate, because like they on the same path as you, they on the same journey as you, and basketball is all we got right now. We all we got, and so we trying to help each other, get to the next level, and you start building relationships with your teammates and stuff, especially for the young teammates, because when you go pro, you can have somebody. I was like 22, and I'm having teammates that's 30, and like got kids, married, like we don't got nothing in common, man. Like nothing. Yeah. Like So you gotta, if you can, your teammates gonna be your best friend during the season and stuff. So you got some good teammates that can, you hang out with on and off the court. Like that make it a little easier, but it's a grind, going that route though.
Yeah, what's something that the one thing that you say you might have really took from being overseas, playing in the D League, that really helped you on the court, but off the court as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? That, being overseas, a lot of times, it could be humbling, but it also could be, it's an experience that you got to be grateful for, because not everybody get to travel the world, see some different stuff, and get paid for it.
Yeah, definitely. That's the perks, like you can travel the world. Like, I played in Dubai, I played in France, and like, I played in, great places where people will want to visit, and you making the money, make a good career, and so that definitely could be great, and you don't want to take advantage of that. Like, not many people, especially where I come from, went out the country before, so
let alone the country, let alone shit down to DC or some shit.
Man, like, like if it ain't 20-minute drive, they ain't going. And like, I showed my whole family, how to travel. Like, not, for them just follow me with basketball, like they never really travel like that. So, I'm going to Hawaii when I was my senior year in college. Like, my family coming, I'm playing in Miami, I'm playing in San Diego, and all these different places across the country that my family would have never went to if it wasn't for basketball. And places I probably would have never went to if it wasn't basketball. Like I would have never went to half the places. And
that's
so
a fact,
so you definitely could be grateful for all that.
If I ain't hoop, I'd be in Michigan right now. Like I wouldn't be traveling, but like just what you said, like the stuff, like your success really has helped other people. You feel what I'm saying? Your family, like being able to experience life in a different way. You feel what I'm saying? Like people don't think about that. Look, like the younger kids coming up, like, yeah, you doing it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You working hard to get to this goal, whatever. But you gotta understand, like when you get to that level and you're doing that, now you like your family, like now they get to experience different shit too. So like you kind of like making their life better in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't think about the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing, everything, like
the whole package, man.
You know what I mean?
I got, family. Even I had family come up to Syracuse games, driving up there. People never been in New York, even though it's not New York City, but it's still something new, something fresh. And just to, bring that to my family was everything. And even to this day, like that's all that fondest memories is just coming to cities to watch me play. So, I brought that to the family. I was able to bring, family members together, things like that. And so that was, definitely, grateful moments that I have with my family, and that they are grateful for me. And it's crazy. I'm looking at, I'm just hooping. I'm like, yeah, just come to the game. But this is huge for them. And you don't look at it like that at the time, but looking back and them, really showing you that love, and like you're like, damn, like I'm really, putting on for my family and breaking generation curses and stuff like that.
Yeah, you giving them a damn vacation. Damn near, in fact, like so this is something that I really wanted to talk to you about, because I've been noticing this about you. And it's like the transition. Like I know you still hooping, but the transition after the game, because that's the hardest shit, bro. Like, because you gotta think, like we've been playing ball. I ain't never had no regular job my whole life. 7 years old, 8 years old, I've been playing ball. Like that got me to everything I got. Like with the people I know, job, whatever it is. So when you done playing, that could be scary. Not only scary, but depressing and confusing for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know you got your real estate stuff going on where you've been buying and fixing up houses. So kind of like talk to me about that transition, bro. Like how how was it smooth for you? I know it's some ups and downs, but like, talk about that a little bit, that transition into after hoops, and, some advice maybe you could give for players who are right there on that verge of stop hooping and going into the other part of their life.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, man, like basketball is all we know. We've been playing it since we was young, and so you always hear older players that's kind of retired, like basketball gonna stop one day. It's gonna stop bouncing one day, but it don't really register. It don't click until you're getting closer to that time and stuff. For me, I still got a lot of basketball left in me, but it's like I know, like I'm building a family now. I'm married. I got a 2-year-old son. I got another son on the way, and so it's like it's harder to travel as much as I would like to, just because I'm trying to set a good foundation for my family home and stuff. So it's like what I'm gonna do. Like I think like it's crazy. Like my original goals was after I'm done playing was to get into coaching. And I still might do it, but not to the level I thought I might. Like I'm like, yeah, I know basketball. I got a great basketball mind. I could play. I could coach college, and eventually I'll go to the pros coaching. But then just being in college and being in the pros, like you see how much work the coaches put in, man. I'm not trying to do all that.
Like, or time away from their family.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The time where they away from their family and stuff like that, the work they gotta put in, their recruitment, all that stuff, off the court, like it's just not like me witnessing that. I'm like, sheesh, like that's gonna be a whole nother like career, like where I'm gonna be like with my family, like and that's the opposite of where I'm trying to go. So I'm trying to find an avenue where I can spend most time with my family and stuff. Like, man, I've been like this is the longest I've been home, like like since I started playing basketball and stuff. And like so I came about, like I was overseas, and I was just had a lot of time on my hands, and I'm just looking at like, damn, like what am I gonna do? And like I don't know, like I was looking at many things, and like I remember real estate, it just clicked with me for some reason. And so I was just researching it a lot, and YouTube, I'm on YouTube all day, man. Like researching, just looking up so much stuff, like just so I can learn as much as possible. So then when I came home, and luckily, I mean not luckily, but like at the same time, I knew like I wanted to like buy a house for my for my wife. Me and my wife, we already had a son. And like we was in apartments, so I knew like the next step like was to get a house, and like our lease about to expire at our apartment, things like that. So I was already looking at houses anyway. So then I'm like, she's like, I can buy a house for my family, and get an investment property, and like this can be my next thing after basketball. And like so I just started, hitting up people, hitting up realtors, things like that, and like just using my connections that I built over the years, not even know I was gonna use and stuff. Like, and you'd be crazy. I mean, you'd be surprised how eager people are to help you. So I'm just researching, and I end up buying a property, my first property last year. So last year, I bought an apartment building with 3 apartments in it, and and I seen the process of that, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And so then from there I just kept the ball rolling, and like I just kept buying and then researching, then I buy and stuff like that, and just trying to stretch my money long as possible where I can have passive income, where I don't have to work as hard, as I do in the court. Like, everyone's dream is when they to retire, kick their feet up, hang with their kids and stuff like that, and, do what you want, have ownership of your own time. So that was my goal. I'm like, I want to be there where my son got his first basketball game or choir rehearsal or something like that. Anything, like I just want to be there. So I'm like, this real estate is going to give me my freedom, which I want after I'm done. We put a lot of hard blood, sweat, and tears to this game, man. You ain't trying to go sit up somewhere, some cubicle or something like that. Like you still want to be around the game and you want to dictate your own schedule. So that was, the fear of, working somewhere that I didn't want to work, that kind of pushed me to like really make this happen before it's too late. Cause, I can still play overseas and, get good contracts and stuff like that. So it ain't like, I'm trying to scramble and make something happen off the court because I can't hoop no more. So I'm just trying to, when I physically stop hooping, I want to be able to like easily, go into retirement and know like, what's next for me, my next business and stuff like that. And, real estate, that's like, I feel like my next calling. I got a lot of passion for it and stuff like that. So, I'm still learning, but, as I'm learning, I'm still building though.
That's big. You got to have a passion for whatever it is that you do. And that's what you were saying. You put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears our whole life, though we sacrifice. Like people understand from a young age, like we probably missing out on a lot of stuff that regular kids would be doing, like as far as like going to parties, going to school dances, and then talking about now we going to college, now we missing Thanksgiving, we missing Christmases. Every year I ain't never go to no Thanksgiving or Christmas. The whole thing I was in college. So like people not looking at those little things that we miss out on throughout our whole life as a young. We not really living the same life as a regular kid would live. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like going out playing, which we in the gym.
Man, like last year was probably my first year being home for Thanksgiving. Like crazy to think that, like, people don't want to talk about it, but your family getting older and stuff. You don't want, you look back like, damn, I missed the last eight Christmas, the last 8 Thanksgiving. I got a grandmother that, I'm trying to spend time with, my parents and sister and, wife and kids and stuff. Like people getting older around you and like, it's crazy. You got this tunnel vision with basketball. You're not even realizing that stuff.
Facts, bro. Bro, that's 100%. I be thinking about my girls 13 and 11, and like every day you be like, oh, I got time. I'm gonna make time to do this. Then a week go by, and then another week go. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we so like I think overall, society is so like ingrained on like you got to get this done. You miss on being with your fam, like spending time with your kids, like. And now, by the time you know it, they 18 out the house. Like real, like, bro, my girl's like 13, 11. So 5 years, she out. You know what I'm saying? 7 years, she like that's gonna go like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy's 2 years old, he gonna be 10 quick. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing the right thing, bro. Like, and I think it's huge for guys to hear it. Like when you done, and speaking of the networking piece, like when you in school, like I ain't do that until I got out. But like when you there, like, man, yeah, how you doing? Boom, boom, shake, all that. Because like you said, after, like a lot of, and I'm just gonna be 100%. Like a lot of the people, like they your fan. Like that's your fan. Like so, like and you and believe it or not, you created some of the greatest memories for their families ever. Like from like the charge, like people was in their living room huddled up watching that joint, cursing at the TV because it was a chart. You feel what I'm saying? So like now you created all those memories for them. Now when you done and you know, oh, I remember boom so. Hey, I got an idea. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how I go. Like, so for the young kids, like coming up, like, man, listen, you gotta take advantage of every single angle. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not always gonna be there, bro.
Everybody ain't gonna have a 20-year career like LeBron and stuff like that. Like,
nah, that ain't regular. That ain't regular.
Yeah. So your career could be 1 year, 3, 10, 12. Like, but it's just like that the way you make people feel, like that's what people remember. Like how you make them feel, and like what they remember of you and stuff. Like, was he a good guy or was he approachable? Things like that. Little things go a long way. And so yeah. Like you said, I wasn't one of those guys that was just networking crazy while I was at school, but like I always kept a smile on my face and spoke to people. But like now, when it's time to like tap into that to the real world, the business world, like like people, like having convos with me, just to see where it goes. Every convo don't go somewhere, but just that, relationship where as though like, I'm like, all right, well, he's in this field and he can connect me somewhere else. And like, even this person can't help me, but he can connect with someone else. And believe it or not, they look forward to hearing from you though. And like, that's big. So, you never know who, like you said, you never know who's watching, who you never know whose son shirt you didn't sign. It's like, like you never know.
That's a fact, bro. Yo, these are the last two questions I'm gonna leave you with, bro. The simple questions. So, Q's, your favorite place to eat in the Q's, bro?
Favorite place?
I mean, I know you frequented Marshall Street heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know. Y'all spots was Tom's. Tom's was good. Tom's Kitchen.
Ooh,
I know Dion used to go that place.
They don't know about Tom. Tom's ain't even around anymore.
I know. I heard.
Crazy to me. Tom.
I ain't gonna lie. That might. I think.
Yeah, that could be it. Tom.
Yeah. That was my favorite place, man. Yeah.
Man, shout out to Tom's right there on South Salina. Right when you hit the light on Colvin and Salina, you hit that quick left. Boom, he right there on that left, right there. Shout out to Tom's because that was the most fire rice and gravy, black eyed peas, like that.
Everything. But I ain't gonna lie, for something quick though, I actually always call the Chinese spot #1 kitchen. It was right up there by that gas station. And
right there, going up Nottingham.
Yeah,
right in the little complex.
Yeah, and that's my wings.
Oh, right there. Damn, you was here. Damn.
Yeah, if I need something quick, I'm going to them two spots. But yeah, if I wanted to like really celebrate a win, I'm going to Tom.
That's the fact. That Tom's was gonna hold you down. You was gonna be full.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I want to eat a meal. If I'm gonna eat a meal, I want to be full after.
Exactly. That's something you can take your fam. Like
that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Last question. I know I don't know if you know too much about Syracuse this year, but what do you think the team is looking like? You got Buddy coming back, you got Jimmy coming, so you got that brother duo, and then you got some transfers coming in. So what are your expectations this year for Cuse?
Expectations, I mean, I always expect Cuse to represent, because
no doubt.
You got to, you got loyal fans like that, you got previous players that really paved the way, so I definitely expect them to, represent. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how coach do with both the sons.
I know that. So that's
that's dope though, man. I mean, shit. How many people can say they get to coach both their sons in college basketball? You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
Or how many people say they got to play with their brother, man? That's
facts.
That's big right there. Like so yeah. That's why I want. I think they'll do it right, but so I'm excited to see how they do it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have you back on during the season and chop it up and see how they doing. But I appreciate you coming on, bro. You already know it's all love. Again, we gonna do it again sometime down the road, bro. Appreciate you, man. And we gotta run it back for the TBT as well. Ooh, I gotta stretch, motherfucker. I gotta stretch real quick. Nah, that's a fact we do though, bro. That's a fact. We're gonna have it in the dome. So you're gonna have a TBT ×2 on the cap, That's tough. That's tough. That's a fact, bro. No, bro, it's all love. I appreciate you, man. Good luck with everything. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, bro.